Hey everyone, this is John with CAD-Ray, and I'm super excited to introduce the new beta for database crowns in our CLINUX web-based CAD software. We've also completely redesigned the homepage and the interface for CLINUX, so now when you go to chairside.clinux.pro, we can easily and visually see all of the cases that we've done in the past. We can reopen them, we can redesign them, we can re-export them. We've made it simpler and easier to import a new case from any brand of scanner that you're using. All of our tutorials now exist in the web here for our tutorial library. We keep adding those daily. And so there's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to install. It's the only of its kind, completely web-based CAD application for crowns and night guards. For the case we're going to show you today, I've got a scan that I did here in Medit Link, and I've scanned the upper, the lower, and the bite just for this simple number 30 crown prep. We also have the direct integration with CLINUX through Medit Link, so you can click the button and auto-launch. Or, of course, you can export the case from any brand of scanner and then import it quickly and easily into CLINUX. For the demo today, I'm going to import the case because not everybody has a Medit scanner. So I'll go ahead and minimize Medit Link, and we'll go ahead and import a new case into CLINUX. And I'll go ahead and find that case, which I have on my desktop, and I called it CLINUX Database Crown. And I'll click OK, and it will automatically now import the case. When you import a case, CLINUX is going to ask you a couple of things. It's going to ask if you're making a prosthetic today or a splint today. We'll call it a prosthetic. If you've already put some information in Medit Link, some of that nomenclature and information will come over, so it automatically knows that I already selected tooth number 30 for a crown. You can choose either copy mode, which requires a pre-op, which is the old way we used to do things, or the new database. We only have one crown type in the database available now that will be expanding every week as we go on. You can choose your restoration type, ceramic type if you like, so I'll choose zirconia A2. You can edit your patient information if need be, and then it will automatically bring your models into the web application here. We drew the margin for this case in Medit Link. You don't have to. You can certainly draw the margin in CLINUX if you forget to draw the margin or you don't want to draw the margin inside of CLINUX. Either way, if you're using a different brand of scanner, you'll go ahead and draw your margin line inside of the CLINUX application. So if you look at your CAD assistant here on the lower right, Step 1, import. Step 2, prep margin. Both have already been done. Let's click the next button, and it will take us then to the insertion axis. So you just kind of want to block any of the undercut areas if you can to find a nice clear path of draw. Go ahead and click the next button. And then CLINUX will automatically start to propose a crown. We'll have multiple crown libraries available. You can see the first one today is the youth that we're going to use, and once we get that proposed, we can do the manual placement. So what I'll do is move the crown into the correct position, so I can slide it mesially or distally, and I can move it occlusally or gingivally, and we'll get all the marginal ridges lined up and make sure everything is lined up the way we want. Then we could also use the rotate tool if need be, if you needed to rotate the tooth about the axis at all and get it straightened out. One I really like is the scale tool, so if I need to widen this tooth mesially and distally just to get it to touch the adjacent teeth, that's certainly possible as well. So you have a couple of different tools here to get everything lined up the way you want. And then once you get the gross orientation of the tooth finished, go ahead and click the next button, and let's get our proposal. So now we have the proposal for the crown, and you can see what's pretty neat is I can make the preparation either transparent or all the way opaque, and we can take a look and see what the interproximal contacts of the crown look like. And I can use my tools here, my add, form, smooth, or subtract tool. And we'll have some different tools, some anatomical tools coming quite shortly also. So let's go ahead and smooth out some of these contacts and smooth that out a little bit here. Get the contacts the way you want them. You could also look at the occlusal contacts, so if I wanted to add or if I wanted to subtract any of the occlusal contact points, we can certainly make all those adjustments here. We can also make everything fully opaque, turn on the antagonist or the opposing arch and see how everything looks through the top of the restoration. And once we're happy with everything, we can go ahead and export this crown for printing or milling. You can see I have a print mode or a mill mode, and I'll make a couple of other videos here to follow this one up to show you how we can auto nest these restorations inside of a bunch of different commercially available CAD and nesting software. So that's a quick introduction to the database crown. Once it's ready to go, just click the export button, and you can choose where you want to export, back to the cases folder or any of our integrated slicers or programs like that, including a whole bunch of different milling programs, including InLab Cam by Dentsply Sirona. Hope you enjoyed the database crown demonstration, and I'll follow this up with a couple of integration videos as well. So So this is a crown that we designed using our CLINUX web-based CAD app. And once it's completely done being designed, I have my print mode activated here at the top. I'm going to go ahead and click the export button. And I'm going to choose that I want to export this right to Rayware to nest it to print on my CLINUX Pro 55 printer. So go ahead and click the export button and it will automatically launch my Rayware. And it's brought the crown right into Rayware for me. It's automatically put it there on the build plate. I can click the fix button and it could go ahead and give me a support structure. And literally this crown is ready to be printed. I can choose the printer that I'd like to use. So I have my Pro 55S, for example. I can choose my material. So if I want to choose CLINUX crown or OnX, and we can see this thing will print just in a matter of minutes, 10 minutes it says, and get it printed out and be able to deliver for that patient. I've now switched my CLINUX to mill mode, and so this case that we've designed is ready to be exported for a milling machine. And when I click the export button, I can choose to export it to any of our integrated CAMs that we have, which is Chim Systems for Millbox, InLab by Dentsply Sirona, GoToCam for MaxTime, and also HyperDent, which I don't have installed on this machine. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Dentsply Sirona's InLab, and when I click export, it will actually auto-launch InLab for me. Although InLab will auto-launch, we don't have a complete integration with Sirona as they lock some of those features out, so we will have to add the new item manually. For those of you that have never seen InLab Cam before, this is a software that controls our MCXL milling machine, and so go ahead and click New Item. And let's go find where that case is. In this case, it'll be in our CLINUX folder, Cases folder. And here's the case that we just did. And if we'll search for a Exocad construction type file, that will be right there. And it will automatically then find that crown. So here it is. And then we can define what we need for the crown. So we can choose the material. For example, if I want to use CAD-Ray, Noritake, I want to use Katana STML. And I can either do milling or grinding, whether I have a wet or dry milling machine. And I can go ahead and click the next button. And then we can select our blank. So go ahead and choose the blank. And here is the restoration inside the blank. We can make any changes to that, or we could rotate and do all those things using our tools here on the right side if need be. Move restoration. But now we're ready to go ahead and mill this restoration on our MCXL milling machine. So super cool to be able to open up your world to keep your CEREC milling machine, whether that's Emax or Zirconia crowns, and design using the CLINUX web-based CAD application.